So again, this is one of the, I know I've said it before, but this is one of the 4 iconic stations here on the Riyadh Metro. Like I mentioned before, we've got Qasr Al-Hokm here, we've got Western Station that's not open yet, STC we've been to, and KAFD. The plan now, obviously, like I said before, is for us to jump on the yellow line here at Terminal 1 and 2, head down to KAFD, and then we'll jump off at KAFD and we'll do a little bit of a video around KAFD metro station, because like I said before, don't it? Sorry, excuse me for keeping repeating myself, but KAFD is one of the 4 iconic stations along the Riyadh Metro that was designed with amazing architecture and, well, lovely design, to be honest. It's a really, really unique station. All 4 of these iconic stations are completely different in the design, and I think they're also all designed by different architects, so it'd be interesting to see the difference in the design and architecture of each station. But yeah, so we'll head here down to KAFD, jump on the yellow line, we'll jump off at KAFD and do some video on around KAFD. Okay, so I'll see you shortly.
Please ensure you have a valid ticket for travel.
Salam. Go. So we need to head to the opposite side of the track and jump on the southbound train to KAFD. I think we just missed it. Yeah, so we just missed a train now, heading to KAFD, but not to worry, there's one on the track behind us. So, I'm not sure if it's actually showing up here on the doors, but yeah, so while it's quiet here, for people who are not familiar with the metro, you can see that there's first class, 2 doors there for first class, and then there's a family, so as it states, family. So you'll usually find obviously families in there, but also single females usually will jump in there, or first class if they have a first class ticket. And then we have a single section here, which is mainly for single men. I wouldn't think single females would use this section. They would use the family section and also first class. Bearing in mind that a lot of the single people are obviously men, and it gets very busy, it gets very cramped, and rightly so. It's not very nice for single females to be mixing with single men crammed into a carriage. So it's really nice that they have the family carriages also for single females and families, of course, in first class separate. What I could say is in some of the routes where it is very busy, you might want to be looking at putting on additional carriages, because it can get very, very busy and very cramped. So they're the 3 sort of sections that you'll find on the Riyadh Metro: first class, family class, single class. And if you are a single male found in the family section, you will be turfed out and told to go and jump into the single class or the first class, obviously, if you want to go and buy a first class ticket.
The next train to King Abdullah. هذا القطار متجه إلى المركز المالي.
Off we go to KAFD. So I shall pick you up at KAFD, or on the approach to KAFD, and see if we can get some good video footage coming into KAFD itself from this direction. Should be able to get some nice footage from here. So we'll pick up again at KAFD once we start reaching the KAFD train station. Okay? Beautiful blue skies. Beautiful, beautiful day. Hope the camera's doing it justice. didn't manage to capture it on the outbound leg, but you'll see here this train coming towards us is a purple train, or violet, whatever you want to call it. So I'm on a yellow line and he's on a purple line. But for 3 or 4, I think it's maybe 3 stations, maybe 4 stations, the yellow and purple line share the same section of track up to Sarvik. And then you'll see right behind him is a yellow train. And following on behind the yellow train is the purple train. So this is us approaching KAFD. So we'll jump off here, like I said, and we'll have a look round. Then above us, there you can see there's a train coming off the blue line. So we have the purple, blue and yellow line all converging on KAFD, because it's obviously a really important central hub for the financial district. So we have quite a few, well, we have 3, quite a few. We've got 3 lines all converging on one station to service KAFD itself. So here we'll have to jump off anyway, regardless, even if we weren't going to stop here, because the yellow line actually terminates here, so you get a better view and a better look here of actually the external structure of the station itself. Beautiful design. Night time, that's all lit up as well. I think the last time I was down here driving past it was during the Saudi National Day or Saudi Founders Day, and it was all lit up green.
ستفتح أبواب الجانب الأيمن. Next station, KAFD, King Abdullah Financial District.
There we go. And blue just gone past me on yellow and there's the purple. All 3 lines converging onto KAFD itself.
المحطة الأخيرة لهذا المسار. يرجى مغادرة القطار. شكرا باستخدامكم شبكة النقل العام. This is the terminus. Please leave the train.
So this is us now at KAFD. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to just nip outside. We'll start from the external view and then we'll work our way inside until we get back on the train again. Okay? See you soon. What you'll find here that's good with the metro stations now, they're very well thought out, is the fact that they connect really well with the bus transportation around the city. So you can see there from KAFD there's a bus terminal. So most of the stations will have a bus stop located outside, so you can jump off the metro straight onto a bus and take the bus service, which is which is really well serviced, and they've got some really good buses as well. They've got some big sort of Mercedes-Benz buses and all air conditioned, and the buses themselves are actually really well used. Most of the buses that I've seen knocking about the city during the working day are pretty full, so it's not like they're not being used. Yep. They're actually being used and utilised quite well. So yeah, so it has been very well thought out, you know, with the connectivity of the metro station and the bus service as well that connects into it. So I don't know how much of a view we're going to get from the other side of the station here. We might have to be in a vehicle or something to get a view from the other side of the road to get a wider sort of aspect view of the station. But we sort of pointed it out on the train on the way in, the wavy design of the exterior from this side. That's loud. That's loud. So that's the view from the left-hand side of the station that we saw from the train on the way in, with the sort of big wavy design and the lattice sort of windows. Like I said, they all light up at night time. And the last time I drove down past here was, I can't remember if it was Saudi Day or Saudi Founders Day or Saudi National Day. All the windows were all lit up with green lights, so it looked pretty spectacular on the way past. I think it was just after Saudi got awarded the World Cup, to be honest. That's a good few years ago. No, a couple of years ago, I should say. Yeah, so that's, we're not going to be able to get over there to go and look at the station from that side. So quickly, while we're in the middle of the road here, so this is the view here from the station, from the roadside. But you can see it with the sunshine now. You can definitely see the wavy architecture that's been woven into the building, and all the windows there, like I said, they're all lit up green the last time I was down here driving past. And then, like I mentioned, you've got all this really good connectivity with the bus routes as well. So as soon as you step off the metro, you can jump on a bus. And most of the bus shelters around the city are all air conditioned as well. So you can see it's very warm today. It's getting warmer. So from the opposite side, Nick, and again you can see the same sort of design on the right hand side as what was on the other side. The Aramco building. Like I said, the connecting infrastructure is really good. I mean, they're putting this monorail in now to transport people around KAFD. You've got 3 lines converging on KAFD itself. You've got this amazing station. You've got the taxi rank here, and on the other side, you've got the bus station, the bus stops. Like I said, with air-conditioned bus stops. So it's really, really well thought out. So that's the external part of the KAFD station. The design actually comes from Zaha Hadid, and as you can see, it was designed to make it look like waves and like the station was actually alive and flowing, and I think they've done a remarkable job. So like I said before, it's one of the main interchange stations here in Riyadh, with 3 lines conversion in one spot, and it's right in the middle of KAFD, the financial district itself. So it serves the KAFD population really well, because not only is it financial people who work here, there's actually people who live here in apartments. So I don't think it's just a place where to catch a train. I think it's actually a statement that's been made along with all the other stations and the other 3 iconic ones, that it's definitely looking like a futuristic design, and where Riyadh and the architecture is actually stepping into the future. It's pretty amazing. So let's go and have a look inside.
Coming up to the King Abdullah Financial District metro station, the first thing you notice is the shape of it. It doesn't really look like a typical station. It almost feels like it's been carved out, like something you'd see in the desert, and that's the intention. This station was actually designed by an architect called Zaha Hadid. I didn't really know much about her before, but she's known for this kind of style, and you can kind of tell straight away. Nothing straight, everything flows, and it feels very intentional, but it's also quite natural at the same time. As you walk into the level 1 entrance, it opens up really quickly, but it's not confusing. The way the walls and the ceiling curves sort of guide you in without you really thinking about it. And then you look up, and that's where it really hits you. The roof is mad. It's like this huge web-like structure made from steel stretching across the space. But it's not just there to look good. It actually filters the sunlight coming in, so instead of that harsh Riyadh heat, you get this softer, diffused light. It kind of changes as you move as well, depending on where the sun is, so even just standing there the place feels a bit alive. Around this level, you've also got a few shops and a little retail spots, which makes it feel not just like a station, but more like part of the city. People aren't just rushing through, they're stopping, grabbing things and meeting up. And it's all properly connected too. You've got bus links feeding straight into the station, you've got taxi ranks, so everything ties together. It's not just a metro station, it's a full transport hub. As you keep walking, the space naturally starts to guide you toward the ticket barriers. You don't really need signs, the layout just sort of pulls you in the right direction. Everything stays consistent, same materials, same clean finish, nothing over the top, but it all works. Then you go through the barriers, and this is where it really changes. You step into this massive atrium. The ceiling suddenly opens up right above you, and you can see all the multiple levels, walkways, platforms, everything laid on top of each other, all flowing in the same style. It's one of those places where you just stop for a second without meaning to. It doesn't really feel like a normal station, it's more like something you'd actually come here to see. Okay, so from the main atrium, let's head up to level 1. As you come up here, you start to get a better view of how everything connects. You can actually look back down into the atrium and see just how big it is, and how all these different levels start to stack on top of each other. What I like is that even though it's quite complex, it doesn't feel very confusing. The paths are wide, everything curves in the same direction, and you kind of just follow it naturally. And when you're up here, you notice a bit more detail in the materials as well. It's not just one thing, there's a mix of concrete, steel and glass, but it's all blended together really smoothly so nothing stands out too much. It all kind of feels like one continuous surface. And it's not just for looks either. All of this actually helps keep the station cool. The way the outer structure and the roof are designed, they block out a lot of the direct sunlight, so the heat doesn't fully get inside the building in the first place. Then with the materials, especially the concrete and the way everything is laid, it helps absorb and manage the heat instead of letting it build up. So even though it's boiling outside, in here it feels a lot more controlled. It's all been thought through properly.
Yeah, that's a longer train, isn't it? More carriages on that one. So that was the iconic station here at KAFD. That's us finished here. So what we're going to do now is jump on the blue line, head south, and then get off at STC, and we'll have a look around the STC station at the next amazing station here on the Riyadh Metro. So I'll catch you down at STC. Well, welcome back. This is us now at the STC station. So the STC station is right in the middle of Ulaya, the Ulaya district, and you can see it connects the red and the blue line together. It's got like a layered effect, so it's quite deep underground station. I've been through here many times, but I've never actually been outside, so I'm going to go and have a look outside. But the actual architecture, like I said, it's been given like a layered feel to it, and it's actually been designed to represent some form of architecture resembling the Twake Mountains. So let's go and have a look. Like I say, I've been through here many times before, but I've never actually been outside of the station. So it'd be interesting for me to have a look and see what it actually looks like from the external point of view. So for those who don't know, STC is one of the big network providers here, which I actually use, to be honest. It's very, very deep underground. So I usually only come up one level to get the train. Where I lived before, I used to just get the train and jump onto the blue line, head south, which we will do. Sorry. There we go. Exit to Olea Street. So I think with the description it just said it was very layered, very square, very boxy, and it does actually look like that. But it does look very minimalistic as well. It's huge. It's very, very big. And like I said, it's right in the heart of Olea, the Olea district, so it's pretty well connected all around. And again, outside you've got the bus stop. You've got STC mobile here, which I use. It is very square, very boxy, like I said, and brown. So yeah, I can see what they mean by saying it resembles the Twake Mountains, because I live down that way, and I actually work down that way as well. So it's just very subtle, but it's lovely architecture. Working. We'll have a walk around outside. So like I said, I've never been here before. Yeah, so as you can see, we have the bus stop. Good connections to the city bus system with the air-conditioned bus shelters here. And yeah, it's all spotlessly clean. That's really smart, isn't it? That is really smart. That roof. So you can see what it does resemble a mountain, like a mountainside type effect with the layers and the lines. Yeah, it's lovely. Again, you've got bus stops here as well. I never noticed them when I came out. Again, it's spotlessly clean. Very, very clean. I'll have a walk over here, see if we can see from a distance. So this is the external part of the STC metro station. And again, I'll pop on about it and harp on about it, but it's one of the 4 iconic stations here on the metro system. So if I read off the notes that I've made, it says that STC station is obviously right in the middle of Olea, which I mentioned before. And that's one of the busiest parts of Riyadh. It connects 2 of the major metro lines, the blue and the red. I mentioned that also downstairs. And pretty much everything passes through here on a daily basis when people are using the metro. And again, I think I mentioned it before, the architecture was inspired by the Twake Mountains, and you can see from the design here and the stone sort of cladding and the design of the stone as well, where again it looks like it's in layers. It does look like the side of a mountain from all the layers and geology built into the rock face. And it was saying it was inspired by the Twake Mountains, and giving the station the solid layered feel underground. So that's what I wrote down for my notes, just so to give you a bit of information. And you can see the Kingdom Centre away in the distance there. One of those little dudes. Again, it's lovely, spotlessly clean, nice gardens, nice walkways. I'm not really sure which way Olea Street is. I think it's obviously off that way somewhere, because Olea Street runs down towards the Kingdom Centre.
As I said, this is STC Metro Station, one of the 4 iconic stations here on the Riyadh Metro. And you can see from the architecture behind me and the layered effect, it actually gives it like an underground sort of hill, rocky mountain type feel to it with the stone cladding. And it was actually designed to resemble the Twake Mountains, which is not far from here in the south of Riyadh. So again, it's set in the heart of Al district here in Riyadh, which is a really, really busy area of the city. It's a major connection between the two of the main busiest metro lines, the blue and the red. They pass through here, so there's a lot of traffic, a lot of footfall passes through it here on a daily basis. And it's very deep underground, like we saw on the way up. So again, like I said, I've been here many, many times before, just transiting through, but I've never actually been outside. So I'm actually quite impressed myself to see it. It's really beautiful from the outside next door. I never even knew this existed, otherwise I'd have come and looked at it before. But yeah, it's pretty smart. Let's take a bimbo around the other side. I'm pretty certain it'd be much the same, but maybe we can have a look. So just as a bit of information, this is where we are here now at STC. Okay, we just left KAFD. We left the airport, went to KAFD. We left KAFD before, and now we're at STC. So we'll spend another few minutes here. Now from here we'll jump on the blue line, head south again, and we'll get off at Qasr Al-Hokm. If we've got time, see what time it is when we get there, I might go to the railway station. If not, I'm planning a trip on the railway later on, so we can maybe do that later. Let's see what time it is when we get to Qasr Al-Hokm, and then after that we'll head home to Jeddah Road. Again, this is the 4th iconic station here that I keep going on about on the metro. And as we saw on the way out from home this morning, it's not actually finished. It's still under construction, testing, commissioning, a lot of infrastructure construction going on around the station as well. So that will be open later. I don't know when. I haven't got a fixed date for that, but that's the plan. So anyway, we're at STC. We'll do a few more minutes around here, then we'll jump on the blue line, head south to Qasr Al-Hokm. Coming soon. Must be shopping. Everywhere you go in Riyadh, there's building and construction work going on. That's not working. So as I continued to walk on the opposite side of the station there, I noticed in the distance a big blue sign, and I recognised the badge on the wall. It turns out it was a badge of Al Hilal, one of the big football clubs here in the Saudi Pro League. We've got Al Hilal and Al Nassr. They're the 2 biggest clubs in the Pro League at the moment. So I thought I'd go and investigate a bit further, and as I went over I noticed that it said Al Hilal Academy. So I didn't even know this existed. So I thought it'd be worth a little visit, go over and see what was going on, and take a little picture. Right, so that was STC station. Again, very nice, very square, very boxy, very minimalistic, but it's very nice, very beautiful architecture, especially the roof. So now we're going to do, jump on the blue line, head south in the direction of Dar al-Baydah, and jump off at Qasr Al-Hokm and have a look around there, which is
pretty spectacular, to be honest. Very busy. Welcome back. So now we're at Qasr Al-Hokm station. So what we're going to do first is we're going to head outside, have a look at the external part of the station, because it is pretty remarkable. I've been here before a few weeks ago. We're going to have a look at the outside and then come inside, and we'll see if we've got time. After that we might head across to the railway station. Yeah, I want to see this one in daylight because I've only ever seen it in the dark, and it looked pretty remarkable then, but I want to go and see it now in the daylight. I think it'll be pretty spectacular. Okay, so let's head outside first. Yeah. So you can see this station is done in a mixture of modern and also old-style Najdi architecture with the mud clay effect and also the triangles. So I mentioned the triangles before, but I'll go over it again later in more depth. Hopefully it'll make a bit more sense. I think it was a bit garbled before when I was talking about the triangles, but I'll take some more time shortly to explain the relevance of the triangles again. Welcome back, like I said. So we're now at Qasr Al-Hokm station. So I'm just going to head outside here and head up this ramp, because if we got this ramp here, it'll give us a pretty spectacular view of the big metal ball that actually sits on top of the station here. That forms part of the roof system. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'll turn the camera in so you can look in the opposite direction for now. So this is a big open sweeping area here outside the station. We've got the mosques there on the left-hand side. Again, you'll find that a lot of the mosques here are very different in design. It's not all the same, so I like that. It's some really, really modern type looking mosques with minarets, and you see this one again sort of blends into the Najdi style architect with the clay looking cladding and the triangles. And yeah, there's many different types of design for the mosques here in Saudi, which is really nice to see. So heading over in that direction is a theme for another video. Okay, so there across the road is an old village. It's actually an old grain. It was an old grain market, I believe, and it's actually been turned into a heritage sort of centre. And all these buildings here you can see just across the road there, they've all been redeveloped, they've been reconstructed, and they've been turned into like a museum sort of historical site, all again done in the Najdi type architecture of the old type of buildings you would see here in Riyadh, in the south of the city. So this grain, I think it was a grain store, I'll have to check again, I'll let you know, but it was actually inside the walls of the old city. And I think it was about, I don't remember the exact dates. I'll find the dates and I'll put them on the screen. But it was only recently that it was all redeveloped, and it's not actually open yet. It's still closed. So I was through there a few weeks ago. But it'd be really nice when it's open, because over here across the road behind that bus station there's some really nice gardens. There's lovely little shops and coffee shops and everything. So it'd be nice when it's open. And then beyond that, you've got Dira Square, or Al Sarafat Square.
which is the famous square here in Riyadh, where a lot of the capital punishments and other punishments was dished out by the courts and the security services. So that's an interesting place to see. It's all changed. It's a very, very vibrant area now. It's completely different. It's actually a really nice area. And then beyond that, you've got the National Museum, you've got Mazmak Fort, you've got the Grand Mosque, which is, again, all these places are really lovely to see. So that's the theme for another video. We'll come down here and do another video, and probably take in Al-Bata at the same time, which is another interesting area to say the least. So let me turn you around here, and I want to show you, not me, I want to show you the entrance here into the station at Qasr Al-Hokm. So this here is the entrance, one of the entrances into the metro station itself. Pretty spectacular, isn't it? There's like a big metal ball that sits there on top of the station, and as you go further forward, you can look down right into the depths of the station itself. So it's pretty remarkable. And again, it's all done in the old Najdi type architecture with the triangles. So I tried to explain the triangles before. Maybe I'll edit that bit out because it was a bit garbled. But as you can see, the triangles are a very, very important part of Najdi and Saudi heritage and culture and design. And it wasn't just for the design. They had real relevance to the design of the buildings, and there were real reasons why they were designed into the building. So the triangle, I'm told, I'm not an engineer, but the triangle, I'm told, is one of the strongest symbols or designs you can design into a building for strength. So when they used mud and clay, etc., to design the old buildings, they used the triangles, they built them into the building for strength to support the walls. But they were open all the way through from the inside of the building to the external part of the building. One, like I said, for strength, but the second reason was for airflow. So obviously when it gets very hot here in Saudi, the temperatures go through the roof. So the triangles were left open to allow airflow through the buildings to keep them relatively cool. And also a third reason they had them was for security. So during the olden days when there was tribal wars or whatever and there was fighting going on, they actually used them as gun ports to fire through. A bit like the old castle arrow slits back in the UK in the medieval times. So that's the relevance of the triangle. It is very important to Saudi heritage and culture, but they did have real importance and real reason as to why the triangles were designed into the buildings. Sun's right in my eyes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over the side here and have a look at the station from the other angle. This is the other side. It might be a bit dark here, but I think I captured some footage just a second ago. Again, a lovely design mosque. I'm not sure if those doors actually close or not. We'll go a bit closer shortly. So this is the external part of the station from the other side. When I first came out, I was talking over there about the different locations you can find on the opposite side of the street. This is the opposite side over here. So if you head off that way, it takes you up to Al-Bata. It's a really interesting place. We'll do a video from there one night. It's better to go down at night time because it's pretty incredible. Absolute crazy, bonkers place. Just that it's a real hive of activity, and it's a real mixing pot of all different nationalities and cultures from all over the world. A lot of the immigrant community who come here to Saudi to work, like the Indians, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Yemeni, Egyptians, a lot of those sort of cultures and nationalities all live in the area of Al-Bata. So it's a really, really interesting place to be. It's amazing. It's just absolutely bonkers. It's so busy, it's noisy, it's dirty, but it's really, really good fun. You know, it's not really a place where you'll see all these other expats on Instagram, you know, posting their wonderful life and their big cars and fancy this and fancy that. So, but I think it's amazing. It's great to go down there, mix and meet with all these different cultures and nationalities, sit with them, eat, drink tea, etc., talk, meet them, and just have a laugh. So yeah, so one night we'll head down to Al Bata. I said it's a really interesting, amazing place. Yeah, it's a real eye opener, but it's really good fun. So it's very noisy, dirty, bustling, busy, but it's great. It's a good laugh. So, but you can find anything down there, anything you want at all. If you can't find it in Al Bata, you won't find it anywhere. Hello. See, start already. We're not even in Al Bata. Yeah, the light's on red, mate. You can't really go anywhere. I think it's just getting ready to wind his horn up, ready for the lights to change. And so when the lights change, actually in 0.0001 milliseconds, everyone's on the horns. So you got to be on your ball, on the ball. Get on the gas. Get out of here. So I think maybe just practicing, ready for the lights to change. Anyway, I'm being facetious. So we'll take a walk up here. This is us then. That will have us then have done. Blah, blah, blah. We will have then done a full 360-degree tour of the station externally. So again, we're back on this side of the structure, this side of the station. As I said, heading over there is the really, really important heritage area of this sort of region of Riyadh. It's really, it's a really nice place to see. There's so much to see and do. It's incredible. Like I said, from the National Museum, National Library. Oh, yeah. So much. Have a look at it online. So what we'll do now, we'll head up here, head back down that ramp, and then we'll head inside the station, have a look at the architecture and the greenery inside. There's actually a big area inside. It's full of plants, etc. It's nice to see. So again, this is one of the I know I've said it before, but this is one of the 4 iconic stations here on the Riyadh Metro. Like I mentioned before, we've got Qasr Al-Hokm here. We've got Western Station that's not open yet. STC we've been to, and KAFD we've been to as well. So this is your 4th station, well 3.5, because we passed through Western Station, but it's not open. And again, like I said, I haven't got there's no sort of firm date for that opening at the moment. Once it's open, we'll go there as well, and that'll be all 4 stations. You'll be excited to see. So let's head back down here into the internal part of the station. And we'll go down here to where this sort of trellis fencing is, and we'll have a look over the wall. So again, like you see, this big metal ball here actually is combined with the roof structure itself. It probably is actually the only part of the roof, to be honest. Yeah, it is the roof over the top of the station. The rest of the station is sort of spread off to the left and the right, all around it, underground. So, and obviously it doesn't really rain much here anyway, so it makes no difference. But yeah, so this is actually probably the only part of the roof structure. There's a great big metal ball that sits on top of the station. See anything over here or not? Yeah, so if we look down there you can see all the greenery. see anything from this side. Yeah, so we get a bit of a better view from here of the greenery inside, so that's where we're going to go down to in a second. And also it gives you a really good view here of the triangular architecture that's been built into the building as well. I think if all of them, I'm honest, I think, now obviously Western Station's not finished yet, but at the moment I think this is my favourite station. KAFD is something special. SDC actually is really nice, you know, with the architecture, and it's very square and, you know, minimalistic. But I don't know, I really like this station. It's amazing. I think it's just like the Najdi style, and obviously this big ball is amazing. It's incredible, isn't it? You know, but I think it's the old-fashioned design and architecture from the old, keeping in with the keeping in with the design of the local area. Like I said, across the road we have all the heritage sort of sites that are around this area. So I think it really blends in well with all the natural sort of, you know, the natural sort of history of the area and the culture. It really blends in very well. Yeah. So I think I've done a really good job by blending all this in and making it look like it is still part of the local area around here with all the other sort of Najdi type buildings across the road. I really like it. So I never know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's like Qasr Al-Hokm. Qasr Al-Hokm. Doesn't sound like that when the lady says it on the metro. Qasr Al-Hokm. Sure somebody will tell me. Into the door and chose the wrong one. There's another level here. I'm not really sure what's on this level. It could just be offices. I'm not really sure what that is. Then we go that way over there, takes you through the barriers there into the station concourse itself. But you can see again, look, with the difference in architecture, the blending together. You've got the neon lights there on the wall, coupled with the mud walls and the triangles again built into the walls here on the right hand side. I just really love this station. I think it blends in really well, and it's just amazing. It's incredible. I'm going to go over here because I want to go and look at this sculpture here that's right in the middle of the station. Forecourt. So I believe when I've been looking at it online, there's on the back of these two big circles at the back of the sculpture here, there are actually two pictures, and I think one depicts an elderly gentleman and an elderly lady. I'm not sure what the relevance is. Maybe it's to do with the cultural path again, where this gentleman here is wearing traditional, nicely clothes. Maybe the ladies as well. But again, it's just, you know, the architecture and the sculptures and the thought that's gone into this station is just, it's just beautiful. It's amazing, you know. You wish we could do something like this in the UK. Unfortunately, we just can't. I don't know why. You know, the country that gave the world so much, just an absolute disaster. Anyway, I suppose that's another video. It's embarrassing. Again, I don't know what this depicts. There's a couple of little feet there as well, look, see? But I'll try and find out and put a note in the comments or on the video. So, I'm going to head downstairs here now and head into the
the greenery and the garden. It's just beautiful how it all sort of blends together. I think this is all underground as well, you know. I've not mentioned it yet, but the engineers who built this, you know, me working in construction, I'm not an engineer, but, you know, I know how much thought, how much design, dedication, technical reviews, etc. To and fro, backwards and forwards to get things right. To build something like this is just incredible. You know, that's just the design phase, and then actually to build it itself, you know, is just amazing. You know, and a big congratulations must go to all the engineers and the workers who worked on this to deliver this project. It's just incredible. You know, to think there's, I can't remember how much track there is actually, but the track that we went on today and the distance we travelled was just over 65 kilometres. Again, I've got the figures, so I'll put it on the screen. But, you know, to build something like this through such a busy city as Riyadh, you know, whether it's like external or internal with TBMs under the ground in the middle of the city, a lot of the track is actually elevated in the middle of the city as well. To do that, and you know, in such a busy city as Riyadh is just amazing, incredible. So we'll head downstairs now, and we shall go and look at the green space downstairs with the garden. Hello, who are you? Where are you going? Where are you from? Woo! Salam. Hey. We're going that way. There it goes. Then you come down here and we've got another sort of texture, like stone cladding. These like big stone cladded panels. It looks like stone cladded panels, big ones anyway. But again, completely different. You've got upstairs, you've got all the neon lights and different panels. And you come down here and we have grey cladding, coupled again with the clay mud against the green backdrop over there. So again, we come into another section of the station. All greenery. But actually, like I said, it is actually living plants. It's a living hoarding or a living wall. All real plants. So they're not plastic. I can guarantee that. We've got a lovely big garden actually inside. Hi guys. All right. Hello. Inside the station itself. So we've got another texture. Not only we've got the neon lights, we've got the Najdi type mud and triangles. We've got grey stone cladding over there. We've got these walls here, we've got glass, and then we've got greenery, real living plants inside the station. I really do love this station. I do think
You know, if I was forced to choose, then yes, I think I would choose this station as being my favourite. It's just incredible. It really is an amazing, amazing station. So we'll start from here. We'll go up the wall. That's where we were before, up there in that opening. All the way up to the big steel ball sitting on top of the station itself to create the roof aspect. There's no point in me speaking, as he speaks, trying to make this look any better than it is, because I think my voice, my droning voice, might just ruin it. But I think the camera actually tells you exactly what I'm thinking and explains everything in detail. Like I said, from the greenery, the glass, the mud walls, the stone cladding through the more glass, all the way up the big steel ball that sits on top of it all to form the roof. So that, ladies and gents, is really the main points on Qasr Al-Hokm station. Hope you've enjoyed that. Like I said, I think it is my favourite station. I don't think there's anything else really out through these doors to see. I think it's just the exit itself.
The next train to Al is approached. Please allow passengers off the train first.
So that's heading it toward the blue line. We need to go to the orange line. Now, I did say that I was going to go to the railway station, but it's getting late now, and I really need to get back. So the purpose of this video all along was to do the longest trip possible, so it can be completed between two stations in the Riyadh Metro, and we've done that. So we started at Jeddah Road this morning, and we ended up at Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 at the airport. And now we've done that, and like I said, we've turned around, we've come back, we've jumped off at certain points along the way to take in these 3.5 iconic stations that I keep going on about. I think that's our video complete, to be honest. The railway station, like I said, it's an older structure. It was completed in the 1980s, so it's completely different. I think it's a separate video, to be honest. I was going to try and fit it in because we couldn't go to Western Station, but I think that's another video. I'm going to be using the train anyway to do another video shortly, so I can do it then. But so I think for now that really is the end of our video, and we've completed everything we set out to try and achieve today. You know, we've gone all the way up to the airport. We did the longest trip possible. Anybody thinks they can find a longer route, please do let me know. But from my point of view, and from the other people's point of view I've spoken to who work on the metro system, then they believe that that is actually the longest journey possible between two stations. But again, if anybody has any other information, then please do let me know. And that's a wrap, I think. So I shall see you on the next one, and thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's like I say, it's one of my first videos. It's not perfect, I know. I'm not a seasoned YouTuber or vlogger. I'm only just starting out, so if you could subscribe and help me out and hit the like button and watch this all the way through to the end, that would be really appreciated. And there's a lot more to come, I can guarantee that, and there's a lot more interesting videos. There's one next week, the week after, I think. No, there's one the week after next, which is going to be really, really emotional. I really hope you can tune in for that one. It's still here in the Middle East, but in a different country. It's going back 35 years from when I was here when I was a young boy. I say it's going to be very emotional. Have a look. It's coming soon. But as for today, I think we've set out everything we've achieved to set out to do. So that's it for today, and I shall see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Please help and subscribe. Really appreciate it, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon. Well, that's the end of a nice day.
Sun's going down and we're back where we started.
انتبه للفجوة بين الرصيف والقطار. جدة روad.